Good afternoon, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special meeting of the Board of Public Works on Friday, August 14th, 2020. I'm Dr. Campos. We have quorum.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing quorum and roll call. We have President Good present. We have Vice President Garcia present. We also have President Pro Tem Dr. Davis present. We have Commissioner Caloza and Commissioner Villegas present. President Good, you do have a quorum, and all commissioners are dialing in remotely from either their offices or from home. I am dialing in remotely from my office here at City Hall, and we are also joined by our General Counsel, Mr. Ted Jordan, who is dialing in remotely as well. Currently, we do not have any public comment under general public comment. We also do not have any commentary under the neighborhood council comment section. No speaker cards or public comment on any of the items for today's special agenda as well.
No one wants to talk to us. Okay. So hearing that, we'll jump into item one. So item one will be the approval of the minutes for Tuesday, August 4th. And I would welcome a motion.
So moved.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Okay, Commissioner Caloza seconded. Any objections, Commissioner Garcia or Vice President Garcia?
No objections.
Commissioner Villegas?
No objections, thank you.
All right. So hearing no objections, the minutes are moved forward and approved forthwith. That brings us to item number 2 in Council Districts 1 and 13. This is a change order number 15, Ortiz Enterprises, Inc., Taylor Yard Bikeway Pedestrian Bridge over the Los Angeles River Project, recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue a change order to Ortiz Enterprises, Inc. for a not to exceed amount of $300,000 for the Taylor Yard Bikeway Pedestrian Bridge over the Los Angeles River Project to install additional vertical stainless steel tension rods for the bridge. Shirley Lau is joining us today. Good afternoon, Shirley.
Good afternoon, everyone. Shirley Lau with the Bureau of Engineering, Bridge Improvement Division. This project is located over the Los Angeles River between Elysian Valley to the south and Taylor Yard to the north. We are constructing a 400-foot long, 30-foot high steel frame structure that was designed for bikes, peds, and also other multimodal uses. To the north, beyond the bridge structure, a bike ramp will be constructed that will lead to Kerr Road that could connect to San Fernando Road and take users into the Rio de Los Angeles State Park. To the south of the bridge, it will directly connect to the existing Los Angeles River bike path. So it is currently about 50% construction completed, and we anticipate to complete the whole project in April of 2021. So the bridge's superstructure will need a total of 72 stainless steel tension rods between the large steel truss members to provide additional tension and support. And I like to reference figure 1 of the board report. If you see the rendering, there's the orange colored large members, that's the truss. And in between each of those truss squares, you will see a diagonal crisscross of, I know it's a very light color, but diagonal crisscross tension rods. And those are the rods that we are speaking about in this change order. They're approximately 2.5 inches in diameter, 33 feet long, and they crisscross between the orange steel truss members. The original bid documents only included 64 rods on the main line of the bridge and did not include the 8 stainless steel tension rods for the overlook structure at the center of the bridge. During the construction phase, ARUP, the structural engineer of record, they determined that the rods on the overlook structure are necessary to be included as part of the bridge to maintain design requirements and also add structural capacity. So BOE requested the issuance of an emergency change order due to the long fabrication lead time for these stainless steel rods. And also we have restrictions to work until only the end of October within the LA River. And this change order shall compensate the contractor to furnish all labor, materials, and equipment to install these rods. An emergency authorization to issue this change order was not to exceed $300,000, and Commissioner Caloza, we briefed Commissioner Caloza and received approval to proceed on July 6, 2020. This change order is within the contingency amount of $1.8 million when the board awarded the contract on June 27, 2018. So there is no increase in the budget ceiling as a result of this change order. The funding for the entire project is provided 100% by Metro, and that also includes the contingency as described in this report. And so BOE requests the board to approve the recommendations set forth in this report, and I'm happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you, Ms. Lau. Commissioner or Vice President Garcia, any questions or comments?
No questions. So, Shirley, you're just asking that we need to add a couple more stainless steel tension rods, right? That's really what this change order is about.
Right. There, we wanted to add 8 more, so they are actually where the there's like the overlook structure.
I see it
in the center of the bridge. Yes. So
Got it.
those were missed in the original bid documents, and we are adding those.
Oh, that's important. Okay. No more questions on my end. Thank you.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis.
I have none on this item.
Commissioner Villegas.
Thank you. Just have a quick question so I can understand the project. The orange framing, is that going to be removed once the tension rods are built?
No, the orange framing will stay. And so the tension rods will also, or the crisscross in between, and those will stay as well. So the bridge, once we're done, should look exactly like the rendering on the board report.
Okay. And you're expected to finish it by next year, you said?
Yes, April of 2021.
Okay. And is this, it's probably in the report, my apologies for the oversight. So this isn't a what do we call it? Like multi-user bridge?
It could be just non-vehicular. So it could have peds, bikes. That's the predominant usage, but we know sometimes there's skateboards or other non-motorized.
I was just concerned about like spooking any kind of horses or anything like that because it's not friendly to that user.
Right, correct. This is not meant for equestrian use.
Okay, so that'll be delineated at the end?
Yes, they will.
Okay.
This is mainly for pedestrian bicycles.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Unless Mike Davis wants to go skateboard. Commissioner, thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Commissioner Closa.
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. I feel obligated to ask, how did it get missed, these 8 additional in that process?
Yes, it was, I guess, originally when the project was bid, these were not added, and missing the 8 rods does not have any impact on the structural integrity of the bridge itself. But as we were doing shop drawings and getting the project ready, all the steel to be fabricated, they ran calculations again, and they felt that if we added it, it would increase the structural capacity of the bridge. So it would be better for the bridge structure. So we decided to add this to the project, and we do have contingency available for this. So we think it's a better product at the end.
So we're actually moving to create value add rather than compensate for a mistake.
Correct.
Great. Okay. It's a very cool project, and really appreciate that walk through there, Shirley. So, any motions to move this forward?
I move that we move item 2 forward.
I second.
Okay. Commissioner Villegas, Commissioner Closa, any questions or objections?
No, not for me.
All right. Moved by President Pro Tem Davis, seconded by Vice President Garcia. This item, without objections, is approved forthwith. Thank you, Shirley.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, colleagues, let's move to item number 3. This is all council districts, budget increase and amendment number 2, project task order number A31602, DCSE Inc., recommending the board authorize the director of the Bureau of Sanitation or his designee to issue amendment number 2 to project task order A31602 with DCSE Inc., increasing the cost ceiling from $710,000 to $1,210,000 and extending the term of engagement to April 7, 2021 with 3 optional 1-year extensions if necessary. Marco Solario is here with us to give the presentation. Welcome, Marco. How are you down there in Torrance?
Getting hot. I can't lie. Good afternoon, President Good. Good afternoon, board members.
You get no sympathy from the vice president at the very least.
I'm sorry?
You get no sympathy on that heat, at least.
Oh. Well, I have no AC. Can I get a little bit of sympathy now? I have no AC in the house, so. Good afternoon. I'm Marco Solorio. I'm the project manager for SANSTAR. SANSTAR includes the authorization management system that we know as AMS. Thank you for taking the time to review this request to add a second amendment to task order A31602. We are asking for additional funds to continue the enhancements required to our SANSTAR AMS suite. It's a proprietary software developed by DCSC Spatial Wave. The need for funds was precipitated by Council File 19-0953, in which ICSD was tasked to create a single comprehensive internal electronic documentation system to log all the data collected by the Livability Services Division's care teams when assessing or posting or cleaning a public hazard homeless encampment. These funds will provide additional functionalities to our current AMS mobile application, eliminating the need for a duplication of systems. Currently, as it stands, the environmental compliance inspectors with LSD staff must use a combination of two software. They use AMS, our system, and the Pretreatment Information Management System, otherwise known as PIMS, to collect all this data and then compile and complete a full report afterwards. As you can probably imagine, the compiling of the report can get a little bit cumbersome going between the two systems. And in an effort to improve efficiency and accuracy, we had LSD senior staff and ICSD together come up with a very extensive and comprehensive wish list to enhance AMS so that we can avoid having to go between the two systems. We provided DCSD Spatial Wave this wish list. They began to work on some of them at the time. However, we have no funds to continue and to complete the overhaul of the AMS system. This would provide, again, a faster, more accurate reporting by LSD staff and also complies with the council's mandate. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Marco. Colleagues, let's open up discussion. Vice President Garcia, any questions or thoughts?
No questions at this time, thank you.
Okay. President Pro Tem Davis?
What's the duration and time period for the implementation of this project?
As soon as we get the money, and I guess this has to go to cost containment tool, and that's taking quite a while. We wanted to implement them as soon as possible. DCSD right now is at a standstill since we can't pay them anymore. But we can't implement any further enhancements that they may have already worked on, or they can't release them to us.
And where did you tell us the funds for this are coming from?
LSD is generally funded.
Okay, general fund. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. Commissioner Villegas?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Calosa?
Thanks, President Good. I did have one follow-up question, just so I'm understanding this correctly. So this is, the 5-year contract is ending, this year, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, we're extending it to 2021, April 2021, and then with optional extensions after that.
So this is a part that maybe I just need clarification on. So the original contract actually has a optional 5-year extension, but then this one before the board today is amending it for 3 optional 1-year extensions. So how does that work? He left. He didn't want to answer.
No, I'm here. No.
Okay.
The
He
contract.
just shared my screen.
Oh, really? No, I'm still here. I haven't moved. We have the contract is for an additional. There's 3 1-year. I'm sorry, I'm getting the clarification here. 3 1-year extensions built into the contract is what it was.
Into the existing contract.
Yes. Exactly.
Sorry, so maybe just clarify for me. So instead of exercising the full 5-year extension, you guys are choosing to break it down into 3 1-year terms?
Yes.
Okay. That's where I was just trying to understand between the contract terms and this board report.
We would have to amend it to add a 5-year.
So
I thought the original contract here says that you guys have an optional 5-year extension.
I'm not seeing that here.
It's on page 2. It's the first sentence. It says the board in 2015 awarded 5-year contracts, including an optional 5-year extension. That was my only question.
I'm sorry. Let me get some clarification on that. I thought it was just we were asking for an extension to April, and then we would work on extensions after that, 1-year extensions after that.
Jessica, Commissioner Colosa, I think that, if I can interject, I think that's the on-call contracts. This is a specific contract that came from a subsequent TOS to the on-call list. So the 5-year, isn't that right? The original.
Causing confusion. I was trying to understand the difference between the 5 and the 3-year.
No, I'm with you. I'm thinking it through on it. So on the beginning of
Dr. President Goods, correct?
Yeah. 5 years plus the 5-year follow-up.
Right.
It was just for the on-call.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it, President Good. Yes.
I think it's a difference between the contract and the task order that was issued under the contract.
Got it. Okay. Just how it was written, as I was trying to piece together the difference of why the term years are different. But that was my only clarification.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. Marco and Nicholas. Hi, Nicholas.
Hello.
So, just as a quick note, so this is basically requesting general funds, but this is not in the approved 2021 budget, right?
We have a portion of it approved for the 2021 budget. I believe we have 200,000 initially approved for the 2021 budget.
Okay.
We'll be asking the remainder for the following year.
And as you pointed out, Mr. Solorio, this will be subject to the mayor's cost containment process. That'll be there.
Understood.
Do I hear any motions to move this forward?
So move.
Second that.
All right. Got a motion from President Pro Tem Davis, seconded by Commissioner Villegas and Vice President Garcia, to move this forward. Commissioner Colosa, any objections?
As amended?
Yes, as amended. Sorry. Thank you, Dr. Campos.
I have no objections. Thank you.
All right. Hearing no objections, this item will move forthwith as amended, subject to the mayor's cost containment procedures.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Nicholas.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, y'all have great weekends.
Thank you. You too.
All right. That brings us Ladies and gentlemen, to item 4. And this is all council districts. This is a revised task order solicitation number 56, Harrison Associates, pre-qualified on-call civil engineering services consultant list, fire and police facilities, planning support services, recommending the board approve the revisions to the minority business enterprise, women business enterprise, other business enterprise, pledge participation for task order number 56 as provided in the board's motion. Student Chen is with us today, invariably thinking about the Lakers. Mr. Chen, welcome, and tell us about the motion.
Thank you, President Good. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Steve Shen with the Bureau of Engineering. This basically was a task order that was given to Harrison Associates to basically provide a planning document, to provide cost estimates for replacement fire and police facilities. And as we were finishing the task, we realized that there was a mathematical error in the calculation of the pledge percentages. And so we're just correcting this with this motion. Basically, there was a mathematical error. Plus, we had one of the subs got their MPE certification after the board report was adopted. So basically, we have before in the motion, you can see there's a before and after breakdown of the percentages, and it's just really to correct and make it more accurate to the actual task. And that's basically it. I can answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Vice President Garcia, any questions?
No questions at this time. Thank you.
President Tim Davis?
None at this time.
Commissioner Coloso?
No questions, thank you.
All right. Commissioner Villegas?
No questions.
All right. Yeah, this seems like good news. So no questions on my end either. Any objections, commissioners? All right. So hearing no objections, this item is moved forthwith.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Go Lakers.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember to wear Laker gear on days we present.
You too.
Hey, you can. Get your points with me. I'm joking. Ted, I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
President Good, on this last item that was just adopted by the board, who carried the item? I'm sorry, who moved the item?
Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I did not get a motion. That is, okay, or did somebody, no, can I get a motion then to carry this? Commissioner Colosa, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right.
I thought we had done it.
Thank you for that clarification.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 5. All council districts, this is construction order, Myers and Sons, pre-qualified contractors for emergency repairs and construction services, wastewater facilities list. Recommending the board, 1, authorize a revised construction order to Myers and Sons in an amount not to exceed $1,410,000 for emergency installation of the trailer, ongoing lease costs for temporary power, other construction items related to the trailers and demobilization of the trailers, subject to the city attorney office and mayor's office identification of funding. And 2, authorize the city engineer or designee to prepare any technical and/or accounting instructions to effectuate the intent of this motion. Jose Fuentes is here with the Bureau of Engineering. Good afternoon, Mr. Fuentes.
Good afternoon. Jose Fuentes, Bureau of Engineering, Construction Management Division. So the motion before you is the third time we've come with this item before the board. The first time we came to obtain original authorization of up to $500,000 to start the mobilization of trailers to city facilities. We did that A couple of months in, we got a little more clarification as to the expenses that were being incurred. The CAO then went ahead and transferred $870,000. We came back to the board to match that sum with a revised construction order to Myers & Son. And now this is the third installation of that item. And this will carry us through the end of October. The mayor's office, their intent is to continue to operate these 6 remaining facilities. We had 8 originally, 2 have already been demobilized. So we have 6 in operation. And so we would need the additional funds to pay for the lease of temporary power and then also to demobilize the units once it's all said and done. So we will be going back to the mayor's office, the CAO, on a month-to-month basis, asking for additional funding. We expect those sums to be in the neighborhood of $133,000 for each month. And then the last month, October, it'll be about twice as much, about $269,000 to actually include demobilization. With that, we have 266 trailers currently in operation over 8 facilities. And those, like I said, those will continue to operate through October. The plan is to start demobilizing those one at a time as they move people to other city facilities, such as Project Roomkey and so on. So with that, that's about the end of my report. We have to take any questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fuentes. Any questions? Commissioner Villegas, we'll start with you.
I'm good. I have no questions. Thank you.
President Pro Tem Davis?
Okay, wanted to ask about the timelines on this project. Could you share with me the timelines that we have scheduled to implement on this project, Jose?
Sure. So we started in actually March 28th when we engaged the contractor and we started mobilizing RV trailers to different sites. Those were coming to us at the request of the mayor's office to add additional sites. And every time we got that request, we would engage the contractor to mobilize additional trailers. We did that for the first roughly 2.5, 3 months, where we were deploying trailers. Since then, it's been pretty much just a steady operation of maintaining power to those trailers, and anything that breaks down, we would assist the service providers in repairing the RVs. So for the next 3 months, we just anticipate, again, continued operations. So at the end of it all, it'll be a 7-month effort from late March through October. That's the
all right. Okay, thank you.
Vice President Garcia, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
And Commissioner Coloso?
I don't have any questions, but just some comments. Just always want to and like to thank Mr. Fuentes for all his work. We usually see Mr. Mahmoud Karimzadeh or Mr. Kawaguchi, but we rarely get to see Mr. Fuentes, who leads the construction side of all this work. And just want to thank BOE and, of course, Gary Lee Moore for their tremendous leadership on helping the city tackle the homelessness problem. And, when COVID hit, they really, stepped up in terms of making sure that our FEMA trailers were deployed to the right places, and they moved fast, working, of course, with Rec and Parks and all the other city departments. So I know your team is working really hard, Jose, so just wanted to say thank you, since we don't always get to tell you that directly. So that was it.
Appreciate it, very much appreciate it.
I would echo that, I'll say very much so. So just in terms of process, again, BOE will go each month to the emergency management department and the mayor and the CAO to request each month's funding. So all you're really asking for in this motion is the authorization to expand the ceiling on the contract.
That's correct, and process the invoices that come through Myers & Sons.
Okay, so given that, I don't think that this requires review under the cost containment process, because you'll be doing that on an ongoing basis. Right? You'll be asking them for the money.
That's good.
Yeah, okay. This is really important work, so thank you, very much. So,
Thank you.
and hearing it. All right, do I have a motion to move this item forward? All right,
Second.
President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections or questions, Vice President Garcia?
No objections.
Commissioner Villegas?
No objections.
All right, moved by Commissioner Colosa, seconded by President Pro Tem Dr. Davis. Hearing no objections, this your motion is moved forthwith. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Okay. So, Dr. Campos, does that clear the deck?
Yes, it does.
All right. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. A picture of efficiency. This meeting is hereby adjourned.
Right. Okay. Very good.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Everybody have a good weekend.
We have a quick management.
Okay, good. I was gonna ask that.
Yeah. I would have all kinds of announcements.
Do we stay here? We stay here for the meeting? We have an executive meeting, right?
Do anything, Fernando, or just stay on?
Yes, let me just turn off the recordings if you give me a couple minutes.